Hello and welcome to Chocolate for Breakfast. Today I want to talk about something that's come up a couple of times in the group and also with various people that I've spoken with on the subject of comfort eating or emotional eating. Now this is kind of a hard one to get our heads around. Basically, I consider that to be a label and not actually a reality. It's a label that we either put on ourselves or others have put on us, and we then adapt to that label. I may shock some of you by saying this, but I would like you to kind of stay very open-minded to what I'm saying here, and afterwards form your opinion on what I've said, okay? Basically, the idea is that you're in a bad mood, you're feeling sad, you're in let's say, a low state of mind, and you open the packet of biscuits and you eat one biscuit, and then you eat 2 biscuits, and then you eat 10 biscuits, and you've eaten the whole packet. Now, just to be very, very clear here, I have been through this, okay? I was labelled a comfort eater, my family thought I was a comfort eater, and I also considered myself a comfort eater, okay? So we're in this low state of mind and we eat the packet of biscuits, so we kind of have to understand why. Now, the popular idea is that in a certain sense, we're punishing ourselves. We're having a go at ourselves, we know it's bad for us, we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Here's another way of looking at it. If someone tells me that they're a comfort eater, I'm actually reassured. The people who scare me are the ones who don't want to eat. If you're a comfort eater, an emotional eater, you're going for things that are sweet tasting. You're going for something that tastes nice. So you're feeling sad and you're bringing an outside element that has a nice taste, a nice sweet taste, and you're putting that into your mouth. And for me, that's a sign of resilience and a desire to feel happy. I'm just going to talk very briefly about myself, because I don't want anybody here, and the idea of these videos is for me to be very honest and open as well. And I'm not here to be condescending or whatever with anybody else. If you had seen me 4 or 5 months ago, you would not believe that I would actually be sitting here right now making videos and not telling people how to lose weight, but talking about different aspects of nutrition in order to help people find a way of eating more healthily and losing weight if necessary. 4 or 5 months ago, a series of events in my life brought me to such a low state of mind that I actually wasn't eating. I didn't eat for 6 weeks. And the thing that I really want to get over to you, the message that I want to get over to you, is that no matter what happens in our lives, we can feel really crap. We have the power inside of us to, I would say, get over it and to heal from whatever's happened. When you're going for a packet of biscuits, because some event or other has happened, somebody's spoken out of turn to you, you've had an upsetting piece of news, or maybe nothing at all has happened. You know, maybe you've just got up in the morning and you're feeling shitty. Or you've looked at yourself in the mirror, or you've been on the bathroom scales and are disappointed by the result. Okay, and I will be talking about bathroom scales in a later video. The fact of going for the packet of biscuits is an immediate response. We're looking for, in a sense, immediate gratification, and in a sense we do get it. The problem being obviously that the consequences of having eaten the packet of biscuits are fairly rapidly seen, in the sense of we feel sick, we can feel shaky, we get a bad headache, okay? I recently joined, again, just being very open and honest with you, I recently joined a program which is looking at our way of thinking, and I think it's very apt, in a sense, for this particular subject of emotional eating or comfort eating. The program is run by a life coach. I like to call him a teacher, called Michael Neal, and I'm going to put, in fact, a link to his website underneath the video, and I would very much encourage you to go and have a look. Michael Neal has an enormous amount of insight on our way of thinking and how our mind works. I'm learning this stuff at the moment, so I'm not capable of really explaining to you all the ins and outs. What I've retained from this program so far, and this is really important for anybody who thinks of themselves as a comfort eater, is it's okay to feel bad. It's perfectly normal to feel bad. Everybody goes through low states of mind. Even last week, a rather important event in my life happened, and I was, there was no point trying to talk to me. I would have throttled you, basically. And this week I've bounced back. Another thing I'm learning from this program, and it is very true, and there are examples of this all around us. We are programmed to heal psychologically. Whatever happens, we're programmed to heal. What stops us healing from whatever is the churning it up all the time and having the thoughts going round in our head. And basically what Michael Neal is saying to us is just accept it as a thought. Now, if you're in a low state of mind, your thoughts are going to be more negative than if you're in a high state of mind. I think everybody agrees on that. It seems, it seems fairly logical. So if you're already in a bad state of mind, you're having negative thoughts, which are going to make the state of mind seem even worse. Okay, everything's crap. Then you have the biscuits, and you're going to feel ill from the biscuits. And not only have you had the biscuits and you're feeling ill, you're also going to be beating yourself up for having the biscuits. Why are we going to do that? Wouldn't it be just much easier to accept, okay, today I feel crap. I don't necessarily need to eat a packet of biscuits in order to make myself feel better, knowing that ultimately, once the biscuits are eaten, I'm not going to feel better at all. I'm going to feel much worse, and I'm going to, it's going to add on to the weight that I've already gained, and, the idea is to lose weight, not put weight on, and, so this is the basic idea. So this is from the psychological point of view, and I think it's really important to take that into account. And again, I would encourage anybody who is listening to me talk right now, I am just learning about this stuff. Do some research about this. Michael Neal has got books out, and has the program running, and if the program, once this program has finished, if there's another one comes up, I will definitely post the links and let people know, because I think it's something that's really quite important to do with eating, to help us in our eating habits. The other thing that I wanted to mention was, we get to a point where food is something that we consider bad. I don't know if anybody has ever said this kind of thing to you, but it's been said to me quite a few times. Oh yeah, Rachel loves her food. But it wasn't said in the sense of, wow, Rachel loves her food. Look at, wow, she really enjoys that. It was a criticism. So we're getting these criticisms, and I got this kind of criticism from when I was, fairly small. And our perception of that ends up in our thinking that food is something that is taboo, in a sense, that we shouldn't be doing. And it's completely ridiculous. If food tastes nice, it tastes nice for a reason. That's for us to eat it. If it tasted horrid, we wouldn't eat it, and then, basically, we would die. I think that's fairly obvious. So food tastes nice, and it's there to be eaten, and food is necessary for living. It's full of nutriments, it's full of vitamins, it's full of minerals, it's full of oligoelements, it's full of everything we need to maintain our bodies in good health for all of our life. So I think we need to kind of also get rid of this idea that food is bad and put some fun back into the food. I think that's really, really important. Now, if you are having trouble with this idea of, me saying that comfort eating is actually not necessary, and it's a label, and it's just your way of thinking that's making you do this action of eating the packet of biscuits or whatever it is that you have. I'm also going to, that's the psychological. I'm also going to point out the physiological aspect, and the physiological aspect is also extremely important. And this is where we're going to really get down to the nitty-gritty of the way of eating that can help us be healthy and lose weight. And again, I impress upon anybody watching and listening that I'm not prescribing a diet, but I am here to help you find out what works for you, okay? In the morning, as soon as you're waking up, your body is getting ready, putting into place the processes, the chemical processes necessary to assimilate food throughout the day. Now, if you're in the habit of eating, let's say, a lot of sweet stuff, let's say roughly, okay, and we'll go into this further again, if you're in the habit of eating food that's bad, that's fattening, then your body in the long term is being programmed to accept that kind of food throughout the day. And I'm going to talk to you about insulin production. Some of you maybe know this already, maybe this is new to some of you. When we eat something, let's say sugar, okay, again I'm going to be talking about the insulin and the effect of eating certain foods on the insulin production. and discussing the foods where we wouldn't imagine that it would actually produce a high insulin production. Okay, insulin is there to assimilate the sugars that we eat. Okay. There's also very nice action that a lot of people don't know about connected to insulin, which is called lipogenesis, the creation of fat cells. So the insulin is there in order to put in place that process also. Now, if you've got yourself into the habit of eating foods every day over a long period that make you produce a lot of insulin, what basically happens is very simple. Your body goes off the scales. It doesn't know how to cope with that anymore. And you end up with the first symptoms where your body is producing too much insulin. The next symptom of that is the body is still producing too much insulin but can't assimilate the sugars. That's pre-diabetes. The next step of that, the pancreas stops producing insulin and you have diabetes. And once you have diabetes, now there are some studies out there that say with the proper diet you can actually, and I'm talking about type 2 diabetes here, okay? There are two types. If you don't know this, there are two types. And in actual fact, my mother had type 1 diabetes, which also explains why I know, I lived with my parents until I was at least 20, and my mother died 5 years ago. So for 35 years, I've known about and read about everything to do with the pancreas and insulin, okay? And I had access through my mother to a lot of the studies that were being done over the years. So the type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune illness, okay, that the only treatment for, until they actually do find a cure, is to take insulin every day. The type 2 diabetes is diet-induced diabetes, okay? And for me, it's not a fatality, okay? Like I say, I've read a certain number of studies where they have actually shown with certain patients that they've been able to clear up the type 2 diabetes, okay? But even if that were not to be true, there are a certain number of things that a lot of doctors are not aware of that you can do to improve the condition, okay? I know myself, I was in a state of pre-diabetes. When I was 93 kilos and I couldn't walk, I was in a state of pre-diabetes. And having lived with a mother who had diabetes type 1, I recognized those symptoms. So your body has gone off the scales. And the first thing in the morning is your body is going to be producing the insulin to cover whatever you would be eating in that day. Now, if you're, like I say, if you've programmed your body to receive a lot of high glycemic foods with a high glycemic index, then your body, from the morning, before you've even eaten anything, is going to produce the insulin to cover that. And then what will happen is your body is going to produce even more insulin, okay? And you're going to have your breakfast, and you're maybe not going to eat something that's particularly ideal, and the insulin production is going to continue throughout the day. And I firmly believe that a lot of the comfort eating is brought on by hypoglycemia, in the sense of you have too much insulin in your body. The symptoms of that are fairly simple. You're tired, you're fed up, you're irritable, you've got a headache. Sometimes you can be sweating. And the main symptom for me is you're desperate to eat something sugary because your body is basically claiming it. And I think this is what triggers off. The insulin triggers off the psychological thoughts. You're already perhaps in a low state, or something will happen, and that's it, boom. You're going to have the biscuits. And then you're going to be thinking to yourself, yeah, you see, I'm a comfort eater because, you know, that thing happened, that person said that really horrid thing to me, and I've now eaten a packet of biscuits. The insulin was already clamoring for the biscuits. The person, and you were already irritable and in a bad state of mind, that person was just there to exacerbate what was already present. And I hope I'm not shocking too many of you with the things that I'm saying right now, okay? And like I say, and I cannot repeat that enough, I have been through this. I know exactly how you're feeling. So I mean no offense and I mean no harm to anybody, okay? I'm just sharing what I've learned and my ideas and what I've managed to conclude from all of the things that I've read and all of the things that I've learned. And this is one of the really major important ones that I want to share with you. And again, as we go on, we'll be talking about the content of the plate. So I would like you to just kind of play with that idea a little bit and take that into account. First of all, it's okay to feel bad. That's perfectly okay. Everybody goes through it. I mean, I'm sure even the Dalai Lama, you know, I'm sure it just, you know, he just gets fed up with all these people and, you know, that country's at war again. What the bloody hell are they doing, you know? And it's like, let's have some peace here. And it's like, oh, that's it, I'm having a biscuit. I'm sure even the Dalai Lama has low states of mind, okay? Everybody does. We're all human beings. It's impossible to avoid them. The fact of the matter is not to make it worse by dwelling on them and not make it worse by eating something that could be, you know, which is ultimately going to make it even worse again. Because don't forget, your high insulin production, which has caused you to eat that packet of biscuits, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, that high insulin production, you've eaten the biscuits, you're going to have another high insulin production with an extra dose. And you're going to want to do the same. Okay? And a lot of the sickness feeling and headache feeling that we get a short time within the hour of having eaten those biscuits is to do with the quantity of insulin that is going around your bloodstream. Okay? Make no mistake about that. That is an absolute, is a fact. You can go to any scientific study, go read any medical journal on the subject, and they will tell you that. You will be able to read it for yourself. Okay, big problem. How do you, you get up in the morning, how do you calm down the insulin production? And this is another reason why I started eating chocolate for breakfast. Chocolate, dark chocolate, minimum 70% cocoa, don't forget. Okay, and you can have the 85%, you can have the 99% as well. Dark chocolate contains very little sugar. It's so minimal, it's almost non-existent. And you also have to know that there are fibers, a lot of fiber in chocolate. And the fiber, which is such a lovely thing to do, thank you fiber, actually breaks down the sugar and in a sense diminishes the effects. And chocolate is full, and I will do a whole video. The video on chocolate will last for at least an hour. Chocolate is full of really good stuff. And one of the properties that chocolate has, it calms down the pancreas and it lowers the insulin production. because it's calming down the pancreas. So I was getting up in the morning, and again, I'm not telling you go and eat chocolate, okay? Talk to me, get in touch with me, we can work out what works best for you. If you want to try chocolate for breakfast, by all means. And if you feel good doing that, wonderful. If you don't, then please don't carry on. Don't do it because I've done it and it's worked for me, okay? I once had a teacher who basically said, I mean, I'm a flutist, and I had a teacher, a very famous flutist actually, called Michel Debost, and he said, try it. Try what I'm saying, and if it works for you, do that. And if it doesn't, then please do something else. And I think that is not only true for flute playing, I think it can be applied to absolutely every area of our lives, and particularly eating. If it doesn't work, please don't do it. You're not going to force yourself, and if you are forcing yourself, you're not having any fun. And food is supposed to be fun. Please remember, it tastes nice for a reason. Whoever is the great architect, the Adam Smith's invisible hand, or whoever created the universe, sorry, couldn't resist that one, she made food that tastes nice so that we will eat it. Please remember that. So the chocolate for breakfast was, I was getting up in the morning, my pancreas was off the scales, producing way too much insulin, first thing off in the morning before I'd before I'd even eaten. And I had the chocolate, and the chocolate calmed the pancreas down. I'll be talking again more in depth about what I do at lunchtime, what I do at dinner time. And again, get in touch, join the Facebook group so that we can work out what's working for you. The other thing I did, because the insulin production is going to take a little bit of time, it's going to take maybe a few days, it might even take a few weeks, it might even take a couple of months. It depends what stage you're at. What I did was, because the insulin production carries on during the day, and if your body's producing too much, it's still going to produce too much. I have 2 children. My children are allowed now and again to have biscuits. I would put 10 bars of dark chocolate next to their biscuits. And when that desire for sugar came, and I recognized it as a physiological and not a psychological process, I would then go into the larder, and instead of taking the biscuits, I would take the chocolate. And my goodness, if necessary, I would have bloody 5 squares of the stuff if I felt that's what I needed. And as time went on, that worked for me. Now, the really nice thing, this is the really good news. I like to give you the good news. The good news is, as I've actually learned from the psychological side through the program with Michael Neal, our body, our psychology is made to heal. We're programmed to heal. Whatever happens, we're going to get better. So's your physical side. And if your pancreas is used to producing too much insulin, you can heal that with the right foods. And your pancreas, sorry, pronounced it in the French way, your pancreas will in fact heal. And the really good news is, now I can have a cake. I don't have cake every day, but I can have a cake, and it will have absolutely no effect on me whatsoever. I'm not going to put on weight from it. My pancreas will produce the amount of insulin necessary to deal with the sugar in that cake. And I like cake. Oh, that's one of the nicest things you can have. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm never going to eat cake again. No way. If it's somebody's birthday or a special occasion, or just maybe I have a friend coming round for tea, then I will have a cake. My body will produce the insulin necessary to cover that, but won't go mad. My pancreas will go back to normal working order. And again, I eat according to a set of principles, diet-wise, that work for me. And I have that on a daily basis. But that doesn't mean I'm going to refuse anything else. Okay? And this is where I would actually like you to get to. I would like you to get to the place where you know that you can have the cake and you know that it's not going to make you put on weight. Okay? You know that the physiological response has been cleared up. So that's basically, I was going to say all I have to say. It is quite heavy what I've had to say today. And again, if you've got any queries, questions, the Facebook group is there for that. So please do get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. We've got, I'm working with a certain number of people right now who have actually volunteered to be case studies that I'm going to include in the book. Which is, you know, I'm really grateful to those people for having accepted to do that. And we're talking all different kinds of, you know, I've got a couple of gentlemen, I've got several women on the program, we've got people of, let's say, all different shapes and sizes here. I don't just work with people who have a weight problem, I also work with people who maybe have a latent pancreatic problem, maybe feeling tired, worn out, washed out, depressed even. So please get in touch. Facebook group, Facebook page. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+, and as you can see, I'm on YouTube. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to work that one out. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful, and as I say, any questions, please get in touch. And I will also leave my email underneath the video, so if you want to send me a direct email, no problem, please do that. We'll be organising aussi, in French again, sorry it's late, we're going to be organising also some conference events, some talks, there's a lot going on, so you know, come and join in the food fun. Don't hesitate, you'll be most welcome. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. This has been quite a long one, I think. How long have I been doing this? I'm not sure. Quite a few minutes. But it's an important subject to get through. And again, I will be talking about this in future videos, along with a whole lot of other stuff. Thank you for listening, and here's to your very good health. Bye bye.